One. Welcome to this week's episode of It's All Fun and Games, the official Gamezo podcast. I am Dan, the head writer at Gamezo, and this week, as always, I am joined by Ross.
Hello.
How are you, Ross?
I am great.
That's good. Happy Father's Day.
I'm great. It's just kind of like an old day.
So average that it's great.
Like I was trying to be like disingenuous esports voice.
Yeah.
Hello, we're great today. Welcome to coming to Gamezo. We're gonna have a fun time today. It's me, Dan. We're talking about good stuff.
Are we? Are we talking about good stuff?
No, we're not.
You know, the news sucks, and this is getting fun. It's getting fun trying to figure out how to make this fun. Is the best way to put it. So,
yeah.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But hey, real quick, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and stuff. That's a Ross. Why didn't you say happy Father's Day to me?
I did that on purpose.
Oh, anyway. So
Dan, happy Father's Day. Like, what does that do for you?
I want party poppers. I want you to be like, hey, did you get the package I sent you? It's a cake that says like, thank you for showing me the way to not follow your footsteps. You proved to me everything I already knew about not wanting children by having the children for me.
Yeah, well there's that. But your Father's Day started with me opening up Twitter and seeing you tweet. Does anyone need a hashtag gaming news guest writer right now? And I'm just like, oh, Dan, you're such a boomer, dude.
Yeah, I'm a boomer. No, so yeah, that's an interesting thing. So I am, and other Gamezo writers are looking to do guest articles on other smaller gaming news websites as well. I've had a few, actually. The reason I tweeted that is I had a few slide into my DMs that are like one guy in a basement with like one article on his website. And I was like, look, I am looking to do some guest articles, but like mutually beneficial guest articles. The point of a guest article, the point of a guest article, for those that are unfamiliar, and then we'll go into the agenda and move forward, is that I go over and I write about something that I'm knowledgeable about on your blog or your website, and it brings my readership to you, and it also introduces your readership to me and brings them over to Gamezo, which is good, right? If you have two articles on your WordPress blog that is wordpress.rossesblog.com, it's,
people got to start somewhere, Dan.
Yeah, they do. But
you can't ego this poor kid.
I'm not egoing. Look, I said, look, man, as you establish yourself, you let me know, and I'll be over there. But like, have a URL and get a few more articles out there. That's all. I just your second article ever shouldn't be from some other guy, from some other website.
Send them the GoDaddy link.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So much appreciation. I hope you're listening, guy. I'm not going to name and shame. And
bro, I'll write a guest article. Hit me up. Yeah. I'll write an article. It won't be good. I don't write.
Ross will shoutcast on your podcast for $1 fee.
I'll do it for free. Oh yeah.
There you go. So we have the agenda. We're back to a normal agenda, right? So we kind of had two podcasts in a row that were good. But
yeah, I was going to say, we had two good podcasts. Now we're back to the format that we both hate.
Yeah. So we've moved from like developer interview, talking in totality about the PlayStation 5 event, to gaming news, main topic, esports news, what we've been playing, and then we'll get out of here. If you're listening at this point in time, know that we do go live at the Gamezo GG Twitch. What are we on? Jesus, I'm having a rough day.
It's new because this is the first time, because Gamezo got their Twitch thing in order. We got the nice Fiverr overlays and everything like that. We're looking real slick. Yeah.
So I'm so used to pumping the Twitter. I just go to the Gamezo GG Twitter. Go to the Twitch, twitch.tv/GamezoGG. You can watch us live, usually on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern. This week we're at noon because Father's Day. And then you can
go eat hamburgers, bro. I don't got time to talk about
stuff. You're lucky. I'm gonna have steak. Yeah. So check that out live if you want. If you're listening, we're everywhere, and vice versa. Cross-pollinate, do your thing. If you're listening, though, right now is about when you're going to hear an Anchor FM ad. They're who we use. They're awesome. Check us chat about that for 2 minutes. But if you're here, you get to miss that because Anchor doesn't pay us to do that here. So we can hop right in to the gaming news. All right, Ross. It's another week. It means another pricing speculation on the next-gen consoles.
Is it still the same price that we've been speculating?
No. It's a bajillion dollars or $1. It's somewhere in between, Ross. That's the speculation this week.
So it's the same price.
Yeah. So the only thing that came out is we did have, news gaming journalists, we joke about this all the time, scouring the Polish Best Buy website looking for any information they can get because there's nothing coming out. Like you mentioned, I think it was last week, these two companies are just playing chicken. Who can give the least amount of information first so they can play off each other. So the PlayStation 5, it looks like 500 is the leaked amount now. Amazon put up a post and then took it down. 500 for the disc version and then 400 for the digital version is kind of like
400 for the digital version.
Yeah,
Ooh,
which
okay.
spicy. I'm in digital
spicy.
at 400. I'm in. But the bigger one is there was a leak that came out, an unsubstantiated rumor that Microsoft is going to try to just put the dagger in Sony's heart, and they're going to release an all digital version at $200. If they do that, though, what people need to understand is this system is literally going to be a relay node for xCloud. It's basically going to be Xbox Stadia, is what it's going to be if they do that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
No, depending on how good xCloud is, but seeing as what has gone on with Stadia, it could be an issue.
I mean, Stadia is crushing it right now, bro.
Killing it.
The premier place to be playing Destiny 2.
Exactly. So it could be big for those people who are able to use something like Stadia reliably, not just fast internet to your home, but fast networking throughout your house. But really, if you're targeting a budget system to like the most tech savvy, well set up, it doesn't necessarily make...
You got money to spend if you understand all that stuff.
Exactly. Like if you're me with your like Google Home nodes all over the place and your guest network and you're rate limiting other things when you're gaming, so your gaming is faster and stuff like that, and then it still doesn't matter because you drop frames during your stream thanks to your terrible ISP. Everything up to the wall, Ross, is fine. It's their fault.
Only good for the people that live in those towns with Google Fiber, like the random town in Kansas and like the random one in like South Carolina or whatever. Those are the people that are gonna be rocking the $200 Xbox.
Exactly, and it's like I said, it's ridiculous. I have hundreds of dollars of networking equipment in my home, and then it's just I go and do my speed test for my local Comcast, and it's like Comcast is chugging right now. It's real cool that you have a Nighthawk and some Google Home add-ons and all that stuff. So I think the spicier news out of that would be the PlayStation 5 digital version at 400. I think that's
for sure.
That's going to hit a lot more. It's at the same price, speculatively. It's at the same price as the disc drive Xbox One, but it puts them in a competitive place.
Yeah, because we didn't think a disc drive would be $100.
No, I thought 50.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what kind of disc drive. Well, in all fairness, this disc drive is supposed to be able to play literally every PlayStation 1, 2, 3 game or whatever.
Yeah, and it's
we don't know the full backwards compatibility.
It's the Ultra HD as well, right? So like that I don't know. So it could be a relatively expensive drive.
It might even be more than 100. They might be taking a hit.
Yeah, and I think ever since the PlayStation 3 took a loss at launch, these companies understand that losing money at launch to win the install base is actually more profitable in the long term.
Yeah, because we said it last time. Like, PlayStation's still winning from, 2012, 2013?
Yeah.
When these came out? Yeah. That's quite the investment. The thing it reminds me of, the Xbox thing reminds me of when they made the slim model with the 4 gigabyte.
Oh,
but it was
yeah.
Significantly cheaper, but you couldn't do anything substantial on it, so you had to spend an extra $150 later on down the line to get a hard drive. All these people thinking they could play like Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty on their 4 gigabyte console.
Yeah, and that's one thing I don't think we talked about it a while ago, but we didn't really talk about it during the PlayStation 5 event and podcast, right? And the fact that they didn't give us a ton of information. But right now, if you look at the specs side by side, PlayStation says you can expand the slot with an NVMe, but it doesn't tell you any information about what you should look for. And Xbox says specifically that it's going to be a proprietary kind of drive. And the way I'm looking at it already is like 1 terabyte isn't going to be a lot on these next gen consoles.
No, with all these Warzone updates, man, I'm surprised if 1 terabyte's gonna be able to get me to just play Call of Duty like Modern Warfare.
I know, it's crazy. Like every time they update that game, it's 80 gigs. It's like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
So, interesting stuff. We'll see. Obviously, again, rumor, speculation. Someone just tell me a price.
Yeah, tell me. Give me a price and date, please.
That's all I want. All right. So then we went on and we had the EA Play Live event. This is going to be an ongoing theme. It has been since podcast one, actually. Everything live is canceled, so we're just digitaling everything.
Yeah.
So, instead of doing their little show at E3, we got them and they came out and they were like, hey, you know what's awesome is all of these games are going to Steam. And you still have to open them with Origin.
Yeah.
And you still have to have an EA account.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
But they're on Steam now. You can buy them there. Use your Steam cards. Use Steam cards. You can't go anywhere and buy the Steam cards, but use Steam cards.
Yeah, I don't. It's like they got tired of printing the Origin cards because no one was buying them, and they were just like, "Screw it, just put it on Steam."
Yeah, way easier.
I think that's the dumbest thing, man. Like, you buy a game on Steam, and then you have to download Origin. I mean, in all fair, I'm kind of like a hypocrite because I played Siege, and Siege does the same thing.
Yeah, the Ubi launcher.
But I'm just biased. I just hate this EA stuff, man. It's so frustrating. It's funny because this is the only part of our lives where we're just like, please give us a monopoly. Like, we just want a monopoly, please. Like, I just want Steam, and that's it. I don't care what they do. I don't care how awful they are. I don't care if they put a bajillion anime porn slider games on my new upcoming, so I can't see all the cool indie games that we're going to be talking about in a little bit. Like, just give me Steam. I don't care about anything else. And it's so funny.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I have the GOG launcher as well.
Yeah.
And that one's actually really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just, same thing. I just want to go and click on a game and not have to log into 42 different launchers. And I know some people have open sourced and tried to like tie the launchers together, but it just never works. Just never works. No. Like, you would have to. Actually, I have an idea. I was gonna put that one in the back pocket. Dan can code. We'll move forward. So yeah, so that was like a non-news, and we talked about it a while ago. I mentioned, I forget, something was coming to Steam that was an EA game, and you're like, yeah, Dan, but guess what you have to launch it with? And I was like, oh,
yeah,
because
no. they launched a bunch of games on Steam, so it was like Dragon Age, Mass Effect, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think
I went to Dragon Age, and I was like, yeah, it launches through Origin.
Terrible. And then the other thing they did is they were like, we're also going to launch a bunch of crap on Switch, specifically Apex, because they got to try to compete with the Fortnite crowd. The crowd.
I mean, that doesn't really do anything for me.
Cool, yeah.
Yes. You know what would be really cool is that they celebrated it by making like Mario and Yoshi skins for the characters like they usually do with the Nintendo versions and stuff.
Nah.
Like, how cool would that be?
It would be cool. That's like, that really is one of the most, like, the best parts of seeing companies cross over and go to Nintendo is seeing them do like all that cool Nintendo stuff. Like, I love that stuff. Love it. All right, what do we have next? Oh yeah, so then we had the whole Rocket Arena thing.
Would you care to elaborate? I've watched this trailer, but
no, I mean, I believe, isn't Rocket Arena like a mod for Quake? It's effectively Rocket Arena is Quake, but all you have are rocket launchers.
Well, this game is not Quake, but it is a play on that. Yes.
Yeah. So
it is a full on. It's kind of like, if you haven't seen it before, think of like an FPS game, but Smash Brothers, where you're trying to knock each other like off the stage and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, I'm looking at this. Rocket Arena is a free mod for Quake 2, Quake 3. Yeah, that's where I had heard of it. I saw they launched it. I saw like a quick glimpse of the trailer. I was like, oh, isn't that a mod?
Yeah, no, but now it's a full EA game.
Oh, yay.
And it's not actual Quake. Like, you keep saying like it's a Quake mod as if like the thing we're talking about is the Quake mod, which it is not.
I just don't care about it.
I know.
I don't care. I don't care.
I not get you to say that.
I don't care about people running around with rocket launchers, knocking each other off stage. Like, I literally saw like 10 seconds of the thing, and I was like, cool.
But it's 2020, so now it's characters with signature abilities.
Oh, okay. Now I'm in.
So there's the 2020 twist. Is we gotta have ultimates, and we gotta have skills and skins, and yeah, God bless America.
Look, hopefully it's fun. Hopefully people enjoy it, right? Like, it's just, I saw it and I was like, this is just not that interesting. And then like, it's even
like next week.
Yeah, it was super soon.
Like July 2nd or something like that.
But I think the reason I kind of cared even less about this was because I went back and checked out the EA Play in retrospect, and the next two things were just so much bigger and more
Yeah.
interesting than that game. So the first one is the dudes from Skate came out and they're like, "We've been wanting to make a new Skate game, bro, forever, bro." Shaka. And then they were like, and I was like, "Bro, I want that life, man. I want like the white hair and my flat brim cap and still just being like a total skater dude."
It was funny because there was a very big like juxtaposition between the two of them. Like one
Yeah.
of them was the skater bro guy, and then one of them was like the I code the video game guy.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
I was laughing the whole time. I was like, man, I was watching a documentary the other day about people who do like big wave surfing and like big mountain biking and hella skiing. And I'm like, all these people are like my age or older, like some of these people were like 40, 45. And I'm like, I genuinely envy the people that can just have that free spiritedness, like their free spiritedness, like their whole life. Spiritedness. I can't say that word. I'm over it. But like their whole life, like these dudes are just living in like a shack in Bali, and they just love it. And I'm like, I'm jealous of that. Like that's awesome. I'm so happy there are people like that, that they can just find joy and happiness in so little. But yeah, that was hilarious. I was like, man, I wish I could be that guy. I wish I could just be like a total skater bro at like 40, just like not care and just be working on skate and just having a good time. But the thing that was really interesting, and we had the chat in the Discord group immediately, is there's no information. It's just a skate game. We don't know what it's on. Is it a Skate 4? Is it the mobile game? Is it
Not a mobile game. They wouldn't do that for a mobile game.
I pray not. Is it getting the Tony Hawk treatment? Are we getting one of the old skates? And are they taking like Skate 1, Skate 2, or even Skate 3 and up-resing it and redo it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't a lot of information. The way they talked about it, I feel like it's Skate 4. The way they said we've had this... He specifically said, we've had some really cool ideas we've wanted to do for a while, and now we can do them. Which, to me, doesn't sound like a reskin or anything like that. So...
It would be very 2020, and it would be very upsetting if it was just a remake.
Yeah. But like you said, it would be very 2020.
Yeah, it would be very 2020.
Which is scary.
But the thing is, they're just starting it now. And
Yeah.
how long have people been wanting Skate? How long has this been Remember when Skate XL got announced on PlayStation 4? Like, I don't know if it was 4 or 5, but Skate XL gets announced. Everyone goes like ballistic. If you've played Skate XL, it is very, very, very far from competing with Skate, and that's saying it very nicely.
It was bad. There you go.
You could have made it.
I'm very talented. I'm very talented. That's
you are very talented, but it was not up to par with what I would think of Skate. There's also Session, which I prefer more because I play all these skateboard games. I don't want to say guilty pleasure, but I enjoy them a lot. So there's Session, there's Skate XL. Session is a lot better right now. And now we're getting Skate, but the thing is, they're just talking about it now. So Skate is coming in 2-3 years, and if it comes out any sooner, it's probably not going to be good, unless they just outsourced all of it to like China or something and just crunched them for 12 hours a day.
Yeah,
which is very possible.
It is. We've seen studios do that,
but
all the time. Oh, sorry, my mic's doing some weird things on the level in here, but I don't think it's actually picking up anything. I think it's just
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound normal.
Yeah. Anyway, that was another piece of news. I'll throw that in at the end. Actually, talking about games, crunch, and all that stuff. We had a big delay come up recently.
Oh yeah, I was gonna. I just realized I was like, wait, that's not in here. Why don't we just talk about that now?
Oh no. Let's finish the EA thing and we'll jam it in between now and Pokemon. So
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. We'll get in there. So everyone gets hype about that. Awesome. I was just laughing. I was like, how like peak EA would it be that it's like Skate 1 remastered in VR? Like you can now VR Skate. Anyway, so then we got basically, the mic drop. We got Star Wars Squadrons, which had gone up on their website before the show anyway, so it was kind of like already foregone conclusion. But we got to look at the trailer and a little bit of information about it, and then they proceeded to give us a lot more information on it. So we were joking before the show. Their initial launch or teaser of it was just a trailer. They broke
broke my rules.
They broke all the rules, but then they fixed it. They came out and they did a whole.
They realized they broke the rules.
They listened to the last podcast.
Some intern came crashing in through the door. Was like, we broke all of Ross's rules. Hold on. We need a trailer with what's this G word? Gameplay, I think. And then they dropped it. They explained literally everything. It was I was honestly surprised.
Yeah, it was refreshing to say the least. To actually get all that information. The game looks really cool. It's 5v5 space combat stuff. And
did you watch the thing?
I read.
Okay.
I didn't, and I watched clips. I watched. I'm very busy, so before these shows, I have to do have you ever seen the ads for Mentor Box, where they condense a book's theories down? Yeah, basically they take these books and they condense 200-page books down into 10-minute videos. So what I do is I oftentimes read and then watch a recap video instead of watching a whole event.
Mm-hmm.
So I get snippets.
Okay.
But so you can go ahead, but there are certain features they announced that made some people mad that I'm actually super excited for. So you go ahead.
Well, what are those features first?
So they're going to lock you into first person, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I know some people were complaining. They were like, well, they said they did it because everyone said they would use third person for a better field of view. And it's it just makes it it makes the skill ceiling higher in the game to make it first person, and it makes it more fun. Out of the box, the game's going to support all of the flight sim peripherals. So if you want to get, your joystick or your little pedal things, you're good to go. You can fly these spacecraft using a joystick day one out of the box, and it's going to have VR support 100%. So if you want to sit in the cockpit and hold your little joystick and your pedals, you're good to go to fly these out of the box in the most immersive way possible. And I looked over at my sim rig and I was like, damn it, everything's bolted down. I really want to go and put my joystick on, put the pedals on and play it that way, because I think that would be really cool. So yeah, I thought the feature set was really cool. They put a lot of thought into making it flight simmy, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So
definitely. So it's funny because Greg Miller was doing the the show. He was the host or whatever.
Yeah.
And the very first question he threw at him is okay, is this a multiplayer only game or is there single player? Because of Battlefront and all that stuff. So he's so there's a full single player campaign.
Mm-hmm.
He made it sound like you have to play through it before you play multiplayer, but I doubt that.
I don't think so.
So the single player takes place as you play as two characters simultaneously, and you'll play as I don't watch any of the Star Wars movies anymore, so I don't know where we're at with the good guys and the bad guys and what they're called, but you get the rebels and you play as the rebel person, and then you play, I'm assuming, through the same mission as the Empire person, and you see it through different perspectives and stuff like that. So you're just playing as these two characters through the story, which I always love that stuff. Not in Last of Us 2 apparently though.
No. Mm-mm.
We all hate everyone hates Last of Us 2.
Yeah, we hate it.
Yeah, why isn't that a game? Why aren't we talking about that today?
Because neither of us played the game, so it's really hard for us to discuss.
I was watching it, but anyways. So the multiplayer mode is kind of weird because it's almost like MOBA-ish. So they have TDM mode, which is it's dogfight. So it's just basically be a crackhead and fly around and shoot people. But then there's a full mode called fleet.
Is it fleet defense?
It's something with fleet in there, but it's fleet battle or something like that. So it's basically rounds. So the first round is the TDM mode in the middle of the map, and you're flying around or whatever. And whoever wins the center pushes the line forward. So then the second round is you're playing in the enemy's sort of fleet. So there's bigger ships or whatever. So think of League of Legends, how you have the lanes and then there's the towers, and then you push farther down the lane, and then there's the bigger towers, and then you're in their base and you're fighting the biggest tower. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that. So it's you win the first round, you push forward, and then you blow up their other stuff, and then you go to the big Star Destroyer thing, and then you blow up that and you win.
What if you lose the second round? What if you push forward?
They didn't say that. I'm assuming you push back, but
I could see that getting very tug of war-y. Just
Yeah,
end up in a dogfight in the middle over and over and over again.
yeah, I think that'd be cool. But it's cool because the last phase or whatever when you're defending your big ship, so you have to attack like the big ship, and then the big ship has all these different parts to it that you have to take out. So it's got like the sensor, the like the cannons and all that stuff, and you take out all these individual pieces one by one, and this is cool because the flights have different like classes.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a fighter, like a support, a bomber, and they all do different things or whatever. So it's not just you just flying your little X-wing around or whatever and shooting each other. They have like actual uses and utility to like help one another and stuff like that. So it's when they say a 5v5 competitive thing, there it's actually there's roles to play and stuff, which is kind of cool. All of this, I'm going to put a giant asterisk that it's EA, so it might just blow up in your face on launch
Yeah.
day and it just might be bad. So like I'm watching this and I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but
Yeah, and I had heard about the kind of the story mode, right? I didn't hear you played both sides, but that makes a lot of sense. And then I had heard about the TDM style mode. I assume there would be other modes because they showed in the cinematic trailer, they showed the like all the other big ships kind of coming in. So I
Yeah.
assumed there was going to be something involving that, which is pretty cool. The classes make sense because even back in like old Battlefront when you did the space missions, I haven't played the new Battlefronts. I hear the flying in there is really good, and kind of that's what spurned this is the people loved flying in the Battlefront 2. But in the old Battlefront, they had that. There were different classes of ship. So, there's a lot for them to work with here. And I think the real star of this is going to be the 5v5 modes. I think the competitive, like the online multiplayer part is going to be it's EA, so I fully expect the story to be like 5 hours. And then
It'll be a really good 5 hours. But
yeah. And then like the online is going to be obviously where they dump it. And here's the biggest thing. No microtransactions. Allegedly. They say it. I ASMR'd that for all the listeners.
No microtransactions, but macro transactions where it costs your entire savings. And you can just pull up in the Death Star, win the round. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, they made a big deal out of that, which, I appreciate. If they actually follow through and do it.
They did the we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you.
So, but yeah, that was cool. I'm excited for that game. And like I said, I was already looking at my sim racing rig. It's already set up to sit there and like have a wraparound curved screen in front of you and do stuff. And I'm just imagining sitting there with a joystick and, zipping around doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be cool, but I don't know, man. Like, I hate to be like a cynic, but for the competitive quote unquote mode, I've already seen people like, man, Star Wars esports, this is gonna be great, but just look at Apex.
Yeah.
They do not care about esports with that.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't see the esports part of it.
Yeah,
I see it being a really fun like online, and it being competitive and having that high ceiling.
Yeah,
that's
but
all.
it's like in games in 2020, you either need to be like a service, have microtransactions, or have like some sort of esports scene to be like a viable financial product for more than just like your launch.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be supporting this game, you need to do one of those, unfortunately. And apparently microtransactions are out, which
just means DLC.
Boy.
DLC isn't microtransactions, Ross.
I mean, okay, so when we say microtransactions, not all microtransactions are bad.
No.
It's like the loot crate stuff, which is the problematic stuff. Like if you're spending X amount of money to get skins and stuff, there's absolutely no problem with that.
Yeah, they're basically the pay to win.
Yeah,
is an issue, and then the effectively gambling for stuff is an issue. Like you said, buying skins, like whatever.
Yeah.
If you're an adult and you want to spend $10, go ahead and do it. Like whatever, yeah. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I think the loot crate thing is an issue, and even like honestly, the pay to win thing doesn't bother me that much. Depending, like in the mobile world, right? Like I've been playing this game, Marvel Strike Force, and it's like a tactics light Marvel game, right? And I got looped into a Marvel fighting game on the phone like years ago. Everybody in my office, like the whole tech team played it, so I joined. You can like buy characters if you want to, and like yes, technically that, or shards to build characters, and technically that will allow you to win faster, but you can also earn them. Where pay to win becomes a problem is when you can only get a thing through like purchasing it, or what Battlefront did with like Darth Vader, where it was literally in order to get that character, you would have to play 300 bajillion hours or give them $40, right? Like that's when it's problematic. So I think if you like, and again, mobile games are a completely different story. You know, we're not in China. It's not like some hyper competitive thing. It depends, right? Like I think there's a lot around it. So, but yeah, DLC is technically kind of microtransactions, kind of, right? But macro transactions, actually, that's what a macro transaction is.
That's where it's at, man. Just use all your money.
Yeah. So
why do it bit by bit? Just do it like all in one go, man.
Well, because the reason microtransactions work so great is because it's easy to lure people into being like, it's just $5. It's just $5, and
it's your 401k. Who cares? You could suck anyways.
There you go. Then at the end of the year, you know, you've spent $10,000. So, but anyway, hopefully it's good. Now,
I don't love those stories, but I like reading the stories about the people who whale all the mobile games and like the people who spend like hundreds of thousands of dollars on fake Go over the course of a year.
Yeah,
those are funny.
Yeah, when we worked at GameStop, there was a dude that came in every 2 weeks when he got paid, and he bought $100 worth of iTunes gift cards specifically for Clash of Clans.
Okay.
And he told me, I was like, hey man, I was like, what's you're always buying the iTunes cards, what's up with that? And he's like,
what do you want to pre-order?
Yeah. And he's like, I play Clash of Clans, and every 2 weeks when I get paid, he was like, I take $100, and that is my spending money in Clash of Clans. And he said that and it's interesting, this is an interesting little kind of side anecdote, but he said he used to play console games, and he would easily spend more than $200 a month in games, DLC, microtransactions in normal games. And that he was actually, when he started exclusively playing Clash of Clans, he was saving money by doing $200 a month. He was buying more than 3 games a month on average when he was on console. So it worked out. So like that's like a sound financial decision, but you're right. Like some guys, well,
you did not play the damn game.
Well, yeah, but the next part of this was when compared to these people who are like, you know, the whales, which is thousands and thousands of dollars, or their kid, like you said, gets a hold of a credit card, and it's like, you know, my kid bought 10,000 crystals at $5 a crystal.
I saw a funny story on Reddit 2 days ago of this guy who was getting divorced, and he tried to funnel all of his money into CS:GO skins.
Yes.
And he like tried to keep it out of like the divorce filings or whatever for his money and stuff like that. So he's like, the wife knows about the Pokemon cards because she's gonna sell those off, but she doesn't know anything about Counter-Strike. For all she knows, I'm just, you know, buying stuff and it's going away. And then someone else had the idea that he would like scam himself on another account and he'd be like, oops, honey, I got robbed. Smile.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny. I saw someone tweet that, like a screen cap of it, and I texted it to you, and then I immediately went back to Twitter.
That's right.
I went back to Twitter and saw that you had retweeted. I was like, oh, of course, he's already had it. But that's hilarious. And I was talking to my wife about it, and I was, you know, we were laughing, and I was like, but hey, on the upside, at least now you know how I would launder the money, you know, before a divorce proceeding.
You'd spend all your money on unlocking literally everything in sim racing.
Yeah. All of my, you know, all of my courses, my tracks, and my cars, and I just have a full iRacing account, and then I'd sell it to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, completely.
Once everything's off, you flip it. Hey, ooh, we're giving relationship advice on here now.
Yeah, this is that'd be the worst podcast.
Put all your money in sim racing.
It's the only way. It's the only way. We need like we need to be one of those shilly groups on like Facebook or Twitter that you see the ad come up and it's like, do you want to know how I got rich on sim racing? Just buy my guide, $49.95. It teaches you all the tricks of how I evaded the IRS, my wife and divorce provider. Anyway, we're having too much fun on that. Something that's not fun, Ross. We got CD Projekt Red. They're taking their masterpiece and they're kicking it out to November. It got delayed again. Is anybody surprised? That's my first question.
I mean, I was surprised because they already pushed it back one.
I'll tell you why I wasn't surprised. I'll give you my deets. I was doing the mental math and I was going, okay. They were like, we're not going to crunch people. We're going to push it back. We're not going to crunch people. Then they were like, you know what? There's no way to hit that date now without crunching people. Okay. And then coronavirus hit and everybody's working arrangements changed. And I work in the tech industry and I saw how people are being very productive from home for the most part. And a lot of companies are seeing that and finding that people can actually be more efficient without the daily crap in the office. But I've noticed for some reason software projects are slipping. And I think that's because kind of the ability for developers to kind of like run over and show an issue to someone instead of having to get in touch with them. There's something going on with interacting in those groups that's not working virtually the way it does in the office for whatever reason. And I've heard of other software companies having similar issues. It seems to have kind of fixed itself now. I think it just took a little bit longer to get those projects running smoothly virtually for whatever reason. And so I started to think about a lot of games and whether or not they were going to be pushed. So I was surprised this specific game got pushed, but putting the math together, I wasn't maybe shocked, I guess would be the best way to put it. Like, yeah, it was a surprise. I didn't necessarily see them pushing it all the way to November, but I wasn't shocked that they had done that based on what I was seeing in the tech industry and how development teams were kind of getting up to speed with working remotely, the crunch factor. It's also a lot harder to crunch people when you can't lock them in the office. So, if I'm sitting at home and I'm like, nah, and I just roll over to my bed right there, like, what are you going to do about it except reprimand me, some way. You can't kind of guilt me into staying in the office and finishing a project out. But yeah, the other thing is I think it's better for them. Honestly, I think launching at the same time as the new consoles is great. Like there you go. You want your Cyberpunk looking gorgeous and the best. You either have a $4,000 computer or you go buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. And that's how it's going to run, best, so to speak.
Well, it'll run fine on the console, but they're not doing the actual next gen update until later.
Yeah. But you'll have it when it comes. Weird.
Did you read the press release for it?
No, I did not.
They announced it. So it's funny because they didn't cite COVID at all. They have the free get out of jail card that everyone's using right now, and it's just, oh, sorry, COVID. No, they're not using it. It was not in the thing at all. They said that the game is completely finished. Content, quests, side stuff, everything is there. Those are their words. The game is 100% finished. There is nothing new that they are adding to the game. They're literally just playing it and trying to avoid like all the Skyrim and like Fallout bugs.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's weird.
So this is their version of you deserve a perfect experience day one. And in order for us to deliver that perfect experience to you, we need more time in this massive game with this huge world and all of these decision trees to make sure that nothing breaks on you, basically.
Yeah.
So
essentially that's what it was.
So they're doing like a 6-month QA is what's going on.
Yeah, but I mean, if you ask, I hate to say when you ask gamers because that's very cringy, but the general population of people that are going to want to play this game, I feel like if everything is there and everything's not, because you're going to get a much better QA out of people buying the game and playing it than you are just like you and your QA team.
Yeah, like, look, this is the reason games have early access, and that's a completely different subject for a different day about how that gets abused. But the point of an early access release, right, on Steam is that you have a core game loop, you're validating that it's good, and you're adding features to it and basically using the player base as your QA department. It's basically what you're doing, right? And same thing with betas and other methods of doing it. Now, is this, I guess, is the subtext that they have found some stuff that would get them absolutely destroyed in the media and people would stop buying the game? Because then that's a good reason to go and fix it.
Yeah,
But if it's just little bugs, ship the damn game. Where you want to play it.
The last time they pushed it back, they said, "Oh, we're just polishing the game," and it's like, okay, cool, polish the game. And now they're going back, and it's just, oh, we're gonna polish it some more.
Like,
but they didn't say that. They said, "Oh, we just want to make sure that you're not gonna meme us on like Twitter."
Yeah.
With all of our bugs, but I mean,
I got bad news.
The real problem is going to be when this game comes out in November, and there's still going to be stuff. There's always going to be stuff. Like, we know it. They know it.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. I was going to say, what makes it worse is when that minor bug comes out in November, it is going to get memed on Twitter because your whole purpose for keeping people from this experience, allegedly, or what you stated, right? What we can tell is that you did this so that this wouldn't happen. So now every single one that's found, no matter how minor, is meme material.
Yeah, it's waited 2 months only for this to happen.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but hopefully the game's good. You'll hear me say that all the time. Like, hopefully people enjoy it. Hopefully the game's good. I don't wish ill on like any of the people making the games, and I hope that their projects work out great. The only people I ever have issues with are like the mega corporations, getting rich off this stuff. So I hope that the delay works out well. I hope the game comes out and it's great. I hope it's a 10 out of 10. And I hope there's not a singular bug in it. And we can move forward. But there will be. There's no way to not have a bug. It's just there's too much code. There's too many assets. There's too much. You can't test it all. You cannot test it all. All right. Pokemans. We got them Pokemans.
Pokemon.
We got you guys playing that Pokemon? It's Pokemon, Mom. Anyway, reliving the early 90s, late 90s, in my head. So Pokemon had a Presents event. They came out with like 3 things that are whatever, and then one really cool thing, in my opinion. So we're getting Pokemon Smile. How excited are you for the teeth brushing game?
I tried it. It was kind of cool.
Yes! I love how there's like this moment where you're like, do I admit this on air? Do I admit this live?
No, 100% I own it. It's cute. The art style is nice. I like it.
Yeah, look. I
can brush my teeth. I'm capable of that.
You figured it out. Finally.
I figured it out.
31 years later, Pokemon Smile. You heard it here first. Pokemon Smile so good, it taught Ross to brush his teeth. Or how to. He was brushing his teeth prior to that. He just now has the right technique. That's what I'm going to say. All right. You got your Pokemon Cafe Mix, which is just like a weird puzzly.
The thing I don't understand about this is that they call it a free to start game. In America, we call that a demo.
Yeah.
So is this a demo or is this a game that you can play fully?
Well, I guess what they're basically trying to do is they're trying to take a spin in games on freeware. And, freeware is a software that has limited functionality for free.
Uh-huh.
So I'm assuming that's what they're going for. Hey, this is freeware. You can absolutely play certain levels of functionality in this for $0. But if you want all of the functionality, you have to pay for it.
I think they're doing the thing that they did with like Dragon Quest XI, where it's a demo, but when you buy the game, you start off where the demo ended with like all your save data or whatever.
Yeah, that works.
Again, in America, we call that a demo.
Yeah. Cool. We're updating Pokemon Go because people are still playing that.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I mean, okay.
The funny story about Pokemon Go, when everybody was going crazy about it, when it first came out, it was funny because my desk in the office building I worked in was like literally next to a wall over Faneuil Hall, and Faneuil Hall had like a gym. So I was like all day, every day, people would like walk up behind me and just.
Oh, you're on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
So, the worst.
We've seen all these awkward kids with their Team Mystic shirt and.
Yeah. Ugh. Yep. All right. And then here was the big one. The greatest game of the N64 generation. Pokemon Snap. We're getting a new one.
New Pokemon Snap, finally.
You can zoom around. You can take pictures with your Switch. All kinds of cute little Pikachus and Vulpixes and Growliths, just being
You need to
adorable.
be able to do a selfie with the Pokemon. It can't be Pokemon Snap in 2020 without the ability to take a selfie. I'm gonna be very upset if it's just the first person Pokemon Snap.
So here's what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna get you a custom selfie stick for your Switch, so it's much easier for you to set it up. Yeah, I mean, look, the game was cool. It was a interesting concept back in the day. It's for me a memory I'll always have. I played the crap out of that game.
Yeah, I liked
It was,
it. It was
it was
cool.
just fun. So it's cool. It's cool to finally get a new one. That's all. I can see
a
some.
whole hell of a lot more Pokemon to Snap now.
Yeah, way more. I can
What's
see.
gonna be bad? What's gonna be bad is when they do the Pokemon thing, like the Sword and Shield thing, where they get mad that not all the Pokemon are in it, and they get mad that not all of them are in the Pokemon Snap game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we only used 2 generations. It is what it is. I can see some kids though being like, what is this? We're just taking pictures of Pokemon. What?
It's an FPS with no guns. I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's. I think it's gonna be weird for some people. It's definitely, they came out with this game to appeal to like the us's, the people who played it before, and hopefully they do enough to bring in a whole new generation that have to wait 20 years for a new version.
It's funny because the first one was like, "Hey, your kids can learn how to brush their teeth." And like, this is what I came here for. Screw this. And then Pokemon. Then they drop. Okay, old people, I see you. Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, we got you. We got you too. We got something for everybody. Okay,
We got something for everyone.
We got something for everyone. All right, so that was the Pokemons, and then this was a good one. I was really excited about this. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 4.
It's all you. I don't care about these games.
You don't care about Crash?
No.
Our friendship.
No.
It hurts. So Crash
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
Who's the mascot of PlayStation 1 for me? Tony Hawk.
Fair. And you weren't even excited about that remake. So moving. No. So Crash Bandicoot 4 got leaked. It's about time. See what they did there?
That's the name of the game.
Yeah. So it's about time we can. So Ross and I were joking about this before the show, but like, you'd have to not be able to do any mental math to not understand this was coming. The whole purpose of them releasing the Insane Trilogy was to check market viability for a new Crash game. They did it. The game sold really well. I was 89.7% sure we were getting a new Crash game. Then they remade Crash Team Racing, and I was 99.999 repeating % sure we were going to get a new Crash game. And here we are. We get a leak. We're getting a new Crash game.
Yeah, I mean, all these are coming out, and I'm just like, who's buying these games? Who's buying the Crash Team Racing remake? Yeah, but who's actually playing it? Okay.
For those listening, I was just pointing at myself the whole time. Come on, it's Crash Bandicoot and a kart racer. What screams Dan more than Crash Bandicoot and a kart racer? All right, and then this last one, Ross doesn't care about it, but this is a call to action to all of our viewers.
It's not the usual call to action.
No, this isn't the rate us, 5-star us. I slipped it in the middle of the podcast today. Good work, Ross. Bringing that up. Bringing it up. WB Games is trying to sell.
I wonder why.
For $4 billion. So, by my math, if we take me and Ross and the 2 people watching, we each only have to come up with $1 billion, and we can co-own WB Games together.
Okay, so when we buy WB Games, we will have... Oh, you know what? I'm actually on board with this now, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when we own WB Games, I can finally cancel Mortal Kombat for good.
Oh, no, you can't do it. You can't do it.
Mortal Kombat will be gone. Harry Potter Go, or whatever the hell this is called, gone. Get rid of it. Lego games, hell yeah. Every single game is a Lego game now. Scribblenauts, we're getting Scribblenauts remastered collection, and then Scribblenauts, I don't even know what Scribblenauts 4. I don't care if we skip 2 and 3, whatever. Scribblenauts 4 is coming out on the PlayStation 6. Injustice, get rid of it. Canceled. The Middle Earth Shadows of Mordor game, get rid of them. I don't care. I hate Lord of the Rings.
Well, time out. You're a co-owner. I'm keeping the Lord of the Rings games. I'm good with every other decision you've made to this point, as long as we keep the Lord of the Rings games.
Okay. That's fine. Cars 3, Driven to Win, getting a remastered.
It just came out.
Game of Thrones Conquest, going to mobile.
It already
And then
is
we make
mobile.
wait, is it a mobile game? Oh, there you go. They're making the decisions for me. Okay, let me keep scrolling down. Lego City Undercover getting a remaster, and then Lego City Undercover 5. We're skipping 3 games. Lego World becoming a full-length MMO on PC. Golf Clash. This actually looks sick. What the hell? This is like a mobile golf game. Hell yeah. I'm gonna go download this. And then Batman. Nah, get rid of Batman. I don't care about
We're
Batman.
done with Batman. We're good with Batman. And you know what the best part is about buying WB Games, Ross? They have an
I
office
do.
right in Boston. Right in Boston. We don't even have to commute that far to run the company we now own.
The best part is that E3 2022, I'm gonna go out on the stage and I'm gonna show off a trailer for Joker, the game, and then cancel it the next day.
Cancel the next.
Just to make all those like Joker kids mad. Like, you get to play as Joker. You get to shoot people in public. You get to, you get to hunt down that girl on social media who said mean things to you, and you get to kill her. It's Joker, the game, just for you. No women in this game, no politics. It's just you, the Joker. And then it gets canceled.
And the whole reason we'll hire some like third party like firm from India that specializes in reskinning mobile games to to reskin a GTA trailer with just the Joker in it, and then we'll be good
Just
to
like mod the Joker. Yeah.
and that'll be the whole trailer. You'll be like, it's visceral gameplay, and I'll be standing there
like Shrek.
Yeah, and then I'll be standing there with the controller, but it's really spoiler. It's a video of someone playing it before. Yeah. It's not actually me playing it. I'm just standing there on stage like, I also own WB Games, and I think this is a good idea. And then it'll be good. It'll be good. I like the future with us owning WB Games, Ross. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
no, I'm down for this.
Unfortunately, I'm just shy on my billion, so I'm gonna have to.
I'm hitting the play now button in this Golf Clash game.
I'm gonna have to opt out. There's going to be microtransactions after 3 levels or ads between each level.
Quick fire 1v1 real-time gameplay. So this is like a PvP golf game.
Oh.
Revolutionary shot system that's easy to learn but difficult to master. Thousands of players, Dan. Think of all these people that I can get to buy like microtransactions and stuff. I'm going to give them the Joker skin to promote my new Joker game.
Already profitable. All right, speaking of small games, we have the Steam Summer Indie Game Festival going on right now. Right now. It's almost over. Go play some games.
Well, it's going to be over by the time they listen to this podcast.
Oh, yes. It comes out on Monday. If you're watching, go play it right now.
Go play now.
If you're listening, you suck. You missed out on supporting a bunch of indie devs and actually learning about a lot of really cool games and getting a chance to play them. This whole event was really cool. I was a little skeptical and have been skeptical of the virtual events thing. All of the dev talks and the live with so-and-so studio stuff was cool, but the best part about this is I really got the same feel as walking around on a convention floor and just stopping off and picking up a controller and playing something, just by you. We'll talk more about what we played, but when you walk around a convention floor, you go, oh, that looks cool, I'm going to play that. Oh, that looks cool, I'm going to play that. Oh, that looks cool, I'm going to play that. And then you just go up and you play it, right? I did the same thing with the Steam.
You go point in line.
Well, yeah. So this improved on that because I went, that looks cool, I want to play that. Download. That looks cool, I want to play that. Download. And then I just, it was the same experience in a lot of ways. The only difference being that if you wanted to talk to a developer or somebody about the game you were playing, you basically had like a blurb, like the quick pitch you could look at for the game, or you had to go to like their live hour or whatever, or a lot of them had their Discord open that you could go talk to them. Which I also didn't do that. But yeah, so it's been very cool. So this segment is really like, this is really what have you been playing? This is like, we're moving the what have you been playing segment up. So this was really cool. And there's a lot of really cool games that came out of this. And Ross and I are now going to talk about some of our favorite games from the Steam Summer Indie Game Festival. Actually, we're going to talk about most of the games we played, whether we thought they were cool or not, and then we'll highlight some of our favorites. And then, yeah, hopefully you'll go wishlist or check out some of these games too. So Ross, hit me with some of the games you played.
Okay, well, I want to preface this with, I went to a Pride Festival yesterday on Final Fantasy 14, and that shit was cool. I like that. That was fun. just walked from like one edge of the game to another. It was pretty cool. A lot of people. It actually crashed like a lot of different areas because it was too congested, so it locked off a bunch of zones.
Yeah,
It was pretty funny.
that's cool.
So that was cool.
I like when games do that. I love when games kind of take real world stuff and put it into the game, and the community reacts. And there's actually a hilarious episode of that weird Silicon Valley game dev show that's on like Apple TV Plus. It's called like Mythic Quest or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole funny episode where they try to implement a they call it dinner party, and the whole concept is to have people come together and do these events in like a special portion of the MMO. And then they find out that there's like neo-Nazis in the game, and they come and they raid it. And so the whole episode is them adding things to the game that are like the Nazis will use and out themselves as Nazis, and then they relegate them all to an echo chamber server where it's all just Nazis banned to only play their game with other Nazis. The episode's actually really funny.
Very 2020.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. But anyway, so yeah. Anyway, I watched you play some games.
Yeah.
Ross did his once quarterly hot drop. Get his new drop now, and he showed up on Twitch and started playing just a smorgasbord of indie games. So
hey, you gotta follow the Twitter account, and once every month you get the hot drop on a rain stream, and it'll be cool. But yeah, I played a bunch of stuff, and I wanted to get the actual developer names in here, so that's kind of important. So all right. So I think I'll rate. I feel bad rating them, but obviously we have Depths of Sanity, Bomb Shelter Games. No, nothing surprising there. We had the whole episode. We talked to them. You should go listen to it if you haven't already. It's very good. Other than that, the ones that really stood out to me, my favorite in the whole thing is a game called War Girl.
Ooh.
And think of like Mega Man, where you have the levels and you shooting and stuff, but like shooting, you have like an actual cursor, like an FPS, and you're shooting at stuff. So it's like one of those games. The writing, the art style, the music is just all spectacular. I love it. I'm 100% buying this game. It's made by a company called, well, not a company, but the developer is called Suits and Sandals.
Okay.
Very cool. Highly recommend War Girl. It's great. And the next game, like my number 2 game that I played, is called Ultra Kill.
Oh, that game was cool.
That game is awesome. It refers to itself as, I think the website is actually Devil May Quake. It's a combination of Quake and Devil May Cry. It is but I'd honestly give it a little bit more Warframey.
Mm-hmm.
So think of like Doom meets Warframe, and you're doing like all these crazy acrobatic things and stuff's exploding. You get health by collecting like blood that's splattering from the enemies you're killed. So that's fun. There's levels. It's got like kind of like a speed run component to it. It's very good. Music's cool too. Art style's cool. It's reminiscent of like the old 90s like PC Dunes and stuff like that, but at the same time not looking gross and like pixelated. Okay, number 3 game, we got Ghost Runner. Ghost Runner has like 3 devs like on the Steam page. It's got one more level, 3D Realms, and Slipgate Ironworks TM. For some reason, I don't know why there's just 3 different companies making this game.
Yeah, that's weird because there's one main guy working on it. I met and talked with him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
who's that? Because I think you know more about this than I do.
I forget who the main developer is.
Oof, unfortunate.
Yeah, that was back in February.
Didn't save the business card.
No, I have the business card. I'm just not going in the I'm not going in the closet and digging out my chunk of business cards.
Yeah, so. It's Mirror's Edge, but cool techno ninja guy instead. So I thought it was pretty cool. I was very bad at this game, but I thought it was pretty cool. It's called Dwarve. The developer is called Half Human. It's think of Legend of Zelda, but instead of like swinging your sword around and stuff like that, you just play a tower defense. So you're walking around, you're going through dungeons and stuff like that, and when enemies show up, you're placing down turrets with like an energy that you have. So you have, let's say you have like 6 points or whatever, and this turret costs 1 point, this turret costs 2 points or whatever. So you go into a room and it shows, hey, stuff's gonna spawn from this area, and you put down your little turrets, and there's a timer that goes on. and it shows when stuff starts spawning, and stuff will start spawning and they'll attack your tarts and stuff like that. And like you have little attacks, but they're not useful, obviously. So I guess like 2D Dungeon Defenders, Zelda-ish. I thought it was pretty cool. The game's name is Dwarve
Dwarf.
because you're a dwarf.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And then so when I streamed this, I couldn't figure it out for the life of me because I was an idiot. But it's called Snowtopia, and it's made by T for Two. So I gave it like a second try, and when I figured out all the controls and how to get everything to work, it was pretty cool. So it's a city builder, but you're building a winter resort. So you're building. You have this giant mountain, and you build ski slopes, and you pick where the slopes go and stuff like that, and you build the God. I haven't gone skiing in probably 12 years. So
The
I don't know
gondolas, the chairlifts.
gondola. The chairlift, yeah. So you make like a little bunny hill, and then people show up, and you use the extra money to hire people, so you can have like a big gondola lift that goes down the mountain. And then you get the thrill seeker YouTuber kids that want to go on the triple diamond one and die and stuff like that. So you send them through rocks. Cool. That game is pretty fun, and I want to get the name of this game because I'm gonna feel bad. It's like 100 days, the winemaking simulator.
Oh, I almost downloaded that. I was so close to downloading
So
that.
it's all right. So it's super cool. Basically, it's kind of like Tetris almost. So you have this plot of I don't know the actual, but let's say it's like a 10 by 10 square.
Mm-hmm.
So each round you have 5 cards, and the cards are different things like plow the field, do this, do that, whatever. And each card has like a shape, kind of like a Tetris shape. So you're trying to fit each shape into your 10 by 10 square so you maximize as much as possible. And then you skip to the next turn, and then you get different cards. And the whole time you're building a wine, and it's asking you things like acidity and how much what direction you want to face the grapes and all this like weird stuff that I have no clue about when it comes to making a wine. And then at the end of it, it gives you a wine, and it rates your wine based on like the taste or whatever. And it says, oh, this is too acidic, it has too many tannin notes, and it gives you like a score like out of 100. My wine was like a 61 out of 100 because I was just skipping all the tutorials, and I was like, okay, place this here, place this here, place this here. I basically made like Yellowtail, I guess.
Hey.
And then you can name your wine and make your little design, make your little logo and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I think you'd like it. You should probably try it.
Yeah, it sounds like a mix between, and it's funny, some of the games on here are like this. They're a mix between like two types of game, but it sounds like a mix between like a puzzler and a like a tycoon or
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's a lot like a tycoon game, but then you have like the puzzle element to it, which is pretty cool. And I think that's everything. Let me just skim through real quick because I have these all in one place. That is it. Let me just make sure that this isn't part of the. Because I have another game that I really love and I want to talk about it, but it's not like finished yet. So I think I might hold off on it. Okay, I'm holding off on it.
All right, hold off.
Ross's favorite game on Steam is being held off for now.
We'll hold it off. All right. So my list is the first game I played was Ghost Runner, and the reason behind this was because during the demo I initially played in person, there was absolutely no customization to any settings like whatsoever.
Oh, no.
And the mouse that they had set up there was like the DPI was like 10,000. So I was just like flailing all over the like struggling. But that game is really cool.
My mouse sensitivity was set to 2, I think.
Yeah.
In that game, and it defaults to 100.
Yeah, it was. I called over because there was the one developer there that was really cool. He was talking to people, but then it was mainly like a few PR people from a company they used. And I asked the PR guy, I was like, "Can we set the DPI lower or literally something? Like this is great." He's like, "Why don't you try the Xbox controller?" And then it's like a bumper runner with an Xbox controller. And so like I left with this kind of concept of the game looks really cool. You should have brought a demo that had setting changes, basically. So that I wanted to go, and they were like, "It's going to all be in the main game. It's all going to be in the main game." But yeah, it's really cool because it's all like one shot, one kill, Mirror's Edge, like cyberpunky, kind of cool, cool stuff. Cool. Yeah. So, and it's funny because when we were at the convention, I said to you, I was like, I feel like you would enjoy that game 2, I was like, but the settings are all jacked up. Like I was like, so you'll have a hard time. I fell into a game, this other game that I don't want to call it like my game of the whole festival because it's not in that regard, but like it's the most me game from the entire kind of thing. So it's called Art of Rally, and it's from Fun Selector Labs, and they're the folks who made what the heck's Zen Drift. I forget the name of it, but it's a pretty cool game that some people like. But the whole thing is it's a third person, top down, stylized, like cartoony looking, but very beautiful art rally racing game. And so you control your car from a top down, and it's very calming and peaceful in a lot of ways. And the car feels really good. It feels like a kind of light and arcadey, but still enough that you can control what you're doing. Yeah, it was really relaxing. And then I saw someone on Twitter was like, "This game from Fun Select is really cool. Look, I turned my monitor vertical, and it's like twice as fun this way." And I was like, "Oh, I gotta go play it that way." So I flip my monitor vertically, and it gives you like this like larger field of view. You can see more road coming up. And I just put on some like cool music and just played, and it was really cool. So that was Fun Selector Labs. I liked that a lot. Another game I just keep playing the demo over and over again is called Mars Horizon by Auric Digital. And this is basically a NASA simulator.
That does not sound fun.
So you start in like the 50s, and you get missions, and you have resources, and you are racing against Russia and the European Space Agency to do different things, whether it's get a satellite into space, whether it's to orbit the moon, whether it's to put an animal in space, put a man in space, etc. You can actually do joint missions. You end up having to plan your launch days. You have like rates of failure, so you might have to push the launch out or take a risk on it because Russia's going to launch before you, and you get more money if you launch sooner. Every X amount of months, you end up going through a budget review in your country, and they'll either give you more or less money depending on how you're competing with the other space agencies. The demo only plays until you put a man in space. But
I feel like that's the whole game. Like, what do you mean?
No, but it's called Mars Horizon. So I have to assume eventually you've got to put a man on the moon. You're gonna race to put a rover around Mars. You're gonna and eventually like colonize Mars.
Gotcha.
So
I'm gonna break this off for a second. Are you interested in Project Cars 2 at all?
Project Cars 2, yes.
All right, so that game is 85% off on Steam right now. Instead of $60, it is $8.99.
I am gonna pick it up. They just announced the third one, and I've been holding off on it. I played a lot of the first one, and I've wanted to play it, but
Yeah, because I was looking at the Art of Rally game on Steam, and like right at the bottom, it's like Project Cars 2, $9.
Oh, there you go. See, now I know. I'm gonna go pick that up. Thank you, Ross. All right, so this this next game, I texted you about this. This game was wild. I picked this up. It's called Watch Me Stream My Mental Breakdown.
Yep.
And it's
I've seen this game before.
It's like a life simulator meets a card game. So basically, you're like a weird panda person that's trying to become a famous streamer, and you have to manage your money, your psychological health, and I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and like your job and your health. So you have like your mental health, your normal health, your money. You have to have like a job. You have to stream, and then each stream you play cards. So you have a deck of cards, and basically the chat is your enemy. So they're trying to do psychological damage to you, and you're playing cards to entertain and appease them to end the stream before they can do so much psychological damage to you that I don't know what happens because I never cut my psychological health to zero, my mental health to zero. But you kind of play that game, and then you can make money. But the whole thing is really funny because it's like, you made 12 cents in ads today. And then you've got like the sketchy guy calling you. He's like, the only way to make it in streaming today, kid, is if you join my stream team and all this other stuff.
Join my stream team.
It was too real though, man. It was like my mental health got to a point where I had to like take 2 days off from streaming. I had to just sleep to get my mental health back up and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very aware. It's very aware, and it was fun. The card game component of it was super fun. So there's that. I would check that out. And then some bigger games. I play Snowtopia as well. It's fun. That's a me game.
Yeah. You did play it. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Tycoon game. I had some similar issues. My plan is to play more of it today. Actually, that's one of my treats to me.
I figured it out, and then it was fine.
Yeah, I watched you play it. I started to play it. I had some similar control issues. I only had like 10 or 15 minutes with it before I turned around, and I'm gonna play some more of it. Liberated is a really cool game. I stopped playing it almost immediately. It was basically the same demo I had already played. That's by Atomic Wolf, published by Walkabout. It's really cool. It's out. I think it's already out on Switch, but it's coming to PC soon. You basically play through a graphic novel. It looks very much like Sin City. It's like a dystopian futuristic graphic novel. It's fun, but it's an action game, so you're using twin stick shooter-esque controls almost as you go through it. It's good. I don't think I need to mention Iron Harvest too much. Iron Harvest is good. It was a Kickstarter game. It's RTS. It's like an alternative history game.
I didn't realize it was alternative history, and then when I realized that's what it was, I was immediately turned off. Because I'm definitely not interested in that stuff.
Yeah, Josh was big on it. I think he even backed it on Kickstarter.
Of course he did. That's a Josh game if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, for sure. So it's cool. Undungeon, that's another good one. It is a stylized action RPG. It's kind of like a pixel art 2D game. Yeah, it's good. I played a little bit at PAX, but I had an appointment, so I was like fitting in. What's the other one you played? Black Skylands.
Yeah, I forgot about it. I just realized it now.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about that. But I played this for a few minutes, then I went and saw Raw Men, and then I had like 10 minutes left, and I wanted to like play Black Skylands and get my massage. Thank you, Tiny Build. And so I got to play some more of it, which was good. And then like the game that I just had a blast with is called Bite the Bullet. So it's like this very like retro-esque looking 2D bullet hell style game that is a very 80s like future Demolition Man-esque thing going on where like food is bad and people have implants and you run around as a mercenary killing and eating everything you can. So you're like killing zombies and then like eating them because you need to collect genetic material for the organization you work for, and it's just fun. It was super fun, and it's very arcadey. It has a lot of challenges. You know, it's like, hey, only eat one of each type of enemy. But when you eat enemies, not only are you collecting biological material, but you're also getting health back. You know, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like hard to do it. It's like kill 3 enemies in 10 seconds, and so they have arcade challenges. They call it a roguelite RPG shooter. I think it's like
those sound cool to me.
That's probably about right. I didn't really know what to call it.
By the way, I'm still going through all the games.
Oh, really?
Seeing what I want to play.
Yeah, play it. I think you'd like it. It's fun. I think roguelite RPG shooter probably. Yeah, Bite the Bullet. It's by Mega Cat Studios. Those guys are really cool. After PAX, they thanked me for stopping by. I just literally stopped by.
There it is.
Well, I didn't even play the game at PAX. I just met the guys and talked to them a little bit. And they're like, oh, if you have time, come play our game, Bite the Bullet. And I was like, oh, I don't really have time. And I was like, oh, I don't have time. And they're like, that's cool. And they emailed me and they were like, hey, we're going to send you a care package. And so they sent me like some coasters and a cup and like some popcorn. It's like a thank you for just taking time to talk to them at the convention. But yeah, it's fun. I like it. It's really like over the top 80s type stuff, which I like. I like that. So
this is not my aesthetic at all.
No, it's not your aesthetic. I think gameplay wise you'd be into it. They do have like there's different classes you can like spec into, and definitely I guess it does have that roguelite RPG kind of. I said bullet hellish because you're just like running and shooting constantly, but it's not. I guess
like
it's
it looks like the Contra games is what it looks like.
Yeah, similar. So that was that.
I'm still trying to figure out why this game I'm like obsessed with isn't on this Steam Game Festival.
They don't care.
They apparently not. Okay.
And I still have a few other games downloaded. I want to play or play more of. I tried
the wine game.
Yeah, the wine game. There's this game Tank Narok. That's like a twin stick shooter tank game. and that's the one I was telling you about. It only has online, and I waited for like 15 minutes in a lobby for someone else to
Oh,
play
well
it.
then we can play it. Like
So
I'll queue up with you. Maybe we'll get in the same game.
yeah, exactly. So I stopped, but I do. It looks fun. It looks really fast paced, twin stick tank shooter. Um, so that's cool. But all right, talk about your Black Skylands. Come on.
Oh yeah, Black Skylands. It's I saw it a while ago, and I didn't realize they had the demo for it now. It's honestly really cool. It's think of like Sea of Thieves where you have a ship and you have to drive around to places and stuff like that. So you have this sky ship. It's basically Sea of Thieves but in the sky, and there's like Sky Island. So you have to fuel up your ship, so you constantly have to be going to like fuel stations and stuff like that, collecting fuel. But you go to islands and you stock up on supplies, and there's a story. But the fun component to it is that it's like a top-down shooter too, and
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the main focus. So you have all these different guns that have different attachments that you can get, and they all boost the stats in a different way. And there's upgrades you can get. You have your home base, so there's even like a base building element to it too. So you have all these blank plots on your home base, and it'll say, "Oh, okay, so in this spot you can build a garden. You need like 3 wood and 2 metal or whatever. So you have to go get the materials for it. And then when you build the garden, you put seeds in, and eventually they grow into food. And you can take the food and fly it with your ship to another island that has a town and a shop, and you sell it and you make money. And then you use the money to do other stuff like buy guns, buy like upgrades and stuff like that. And then you get more materials, and you can build like an armory on your base. And there's just a bunch of different things you can do, and that's pretty cool. But then there's like a full on story too, which
Mm-hmm.
Sea of Thieves kind of doesn't have. Well, it does, but it's not that good.
Yeah. Yeah, I played. So when I went to the Tiny Build booth at PAX, I played a few games, and then that was one I was really interested in. There was always a line to play it, so that's the one I played when they took me into the little. They had a little massage tent for the media, and I was talking to them about it, and I enjoyed it a lot. And what was really interesting was the dude I was with. He was like a PR person. He wasn't the developer for the game. He was like, "Oh, what do you think about it?" I was like, "Oh, it's really good. When's it come out?" He's like, "Oh no, 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 no." He's like, "This is a very ambitious game, and it is very, very early on."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Can you give me like
Oh no.
a window?" He was just like, "No, no, no, no." We just like pulled this developer in to be the publisher for them, and it is like very early in development, which is kind of interesting in that regard, because it's like, we've had, on the same topic, we've had two different developers on the show, or two different groups of people from different studios that make indie games, and how they look at these conventions is very different, right? Some are just like, we want people to play the game, we want feedback, blah blah blah, and then it's the connections you make as well was another way we went. It was really interesting to see how Tiny Build specifically was like actively going after consistently very ambitious, interesting indie developers to publish for them, and they were even working on making a deal at the conference that I heard and probably shouldn't have been privy to, but yeah, so that was one of the games they had just picked them up, and it was, like you mentioned, all those features are really cool, but it's an ambitious game, and apparently it's pretty early in development as well. So
it's
I went in
really good.
Yeah, yeah.
I
loved it.
That's gonna be a really fun game.
Yeah, I had a blast with it, and I was like, he's like, "Oh, fly the ship." I was like, "Oh, the ship's hard to fly," but within a few minutes, I kind of had the ship going, pretty well. And then I landed, and then he's like, "Oh, and here you go. It's twin stick shooter time." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "And you can dash and roll." I was like, "What?" And like just like going all over the place, picking up a sniper rifle, trying to get two guys, because I know when I go to that area, I'm gonna have to go shotgun or whatever. Yeah, it was, that game's really good. It's really good. You played it with a controller. I'm assuming it forced you to.
No.
What?
Hell no. You think I'm gonna play that game with a controller? Hell no.
Okay. See, now I feel cheated, because during the demo I was handed an Xbox controller, and I was like, I can't do sticks.
Yeah. You'll get on the sticks, Dan.
I know. All right. Anything else you wanted to talk about around the Steam Summer Indie Game Festival?
Okay. Well, play Wargirl. Ross approved game, Wargirl. Play it. It's really good. The other game that I'm like absolutely obsessed with, but it's been in development for like 5 years at this point. It's called Long Gone Days, and it is a visual novel / RPG based around a fictional military unit, and these people all live underground, and they're born and raised in this like military camp, and they're pretty much bred to just be soldiers or whatever. So it's like this military unit that's operating in current day Earth. So it's like us now in like 2020, and someone contracts this war unit to conduct a false flag operation in Poland, but you don't know that. So you're told, oh yeah, you're the good guys. You're here to kill these people or whatever, and you play as a sniper. So there's this element of you go to like a roof or whatever, and then there's like this kind of like sniper thing where like you have a scope or whatever, and you're trying to find dudes and you shoot them. So the first mission you play, you're going through and you're shooting these people, and he's like, they weren't really doing anything. They were just kind of standing there. I didn't really understand what was going on. And then you go down to sort of investigate what happens, and you're like, wait, I'm shooting civilians. What's going on? And when you figure that out, you flee from the military. So now these people are out to get you, and you cause a full on war, and you're in these towns and stuff like that, and people are evacuating, and the military that you provoked into a war is now coming to attack, and the people that you were working for are trying to attack you too. And it's a really good story. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. But basically, the people that develop it live in Chile, and there's a lot of political strife going on in Chile right now. So they took a break from working on it to work on sort of like a game that's like a protest of what's going on. So it's kind of like not Papers, Please, but it's a life sim where you operate on very low pay. So they made it to kind of show what the conditions are in Chile for people who aren't aware. So Long Gone Days is the name of the game. I am absolutely obsessed with it. I'm holding off from playing I've played chapter 1, and I've hold off from playing chapter 2 and 3 because 4 is coming out, and that's going to be the end of the game. So I don't want to have to wait like 2 years to find out what happens. But it is really good. I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
Yeah, it's got 97% of Google users liked this game. 9 out of 10 on Steam. 4.8 on a 5.
It is very good.
It looks cool.
And what's cool is that I don't really know how to explain this, but the developer says it's a game about like languages. So you go into Poland and people are speaking Polish. So like you're interacting with these people, and you'll like hit A or whatever to talk to them, and they'll just have like Polish, and you're just like, okay, well, I can't do anything with this. So then you need specific people that can like translate for you and stuff like that. So you're like forging friendships and stuff. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
I absolutely love this game.
I like that. Going on the list. It's going on my list.
It's actually, you know that big giant like Humble Bundle with like 1,000 games or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
That's in it.
Oh, nice.
So if you buy that, you automatically have Long Gone Days, and you are obligated to play it, according to me.
Okay. Obligated to play.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and the worst thing coming out of this is like I said, I have a few more games to play, and I'm still not done kind of looking around.
Yeah, and
for stuff
tomorrow.
Yeah, and it ends tomorrow. So that's unfortunate. Cool. All right, esports news. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We're done. Oh, I didn't mention this earlier. For completely nothing. I'm not even gonna. It's not news anymore. Forget it.
What?
I don't care. TwitchCon got canceled. Who cares?
Oh yeah, that's right. TwitchCon got canceled. Okay, I'm very sad for all the just chatting and streamers who can't walk around a convention hall with their selfie sticks, with their little follower of. I hate to use the word because it's cringy, but the S word.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, dude. I will. This whole thing, and we're gonna get to esports news and blow through it because we're going long, but I cannot stand this whole like wearing my Mixer shirt with my name on the back or my Twitch jersey with my name on the back. And we saw it. We were walking around the convention center in Boston for PAX, and there was the dude in front of, like, 2 people in front of us, and he's got his phone out. He's like, my name is Jimmy G, and I'm at PAX. Check this out. We got the U.S. Army over here, and we got this over here. And I was like, do people actually like that content? Like, is that content people are interested in at all? Like, the people, I saw people, streamers, news journalists, whatever, pulling developers aside and like recording them talking about stuff okay, that's
Yeah.
content. But like walking around a convention and being like, look at how cool this is. I'm at the place. You can go to literally any other Twitter with hashtag PAX East and you will see the
Yeah.
same pictures and the same stuff. Yeah, that whole thing, it bothers me. And then I actually saw a YouTube video and it was like this dude was asking different vendors at a convention. It might have been TwitchCon. And he was like, does it matter more to you? Like, are you like, ooh, I got to work with this person if they walk up wearing their little Twitch jersey or Mixer jersey? And they're like, no, I don't care how many
No, I
followers
don't
you
care.
have. They were like, I don't care how many Twitter followers you have. I want to know who you are, what you stand for, what you work on, why that is a good fit for us. And then from there, we'll figure everything else out based on like numbers, right? Like you having a Twitch jersey on doesn't matter. But anyway, TwitchCon got canceled, and then PAX is going digital, which is fine. It's funny. I don't know if you got it. You probably didn't because I bought your pass. They sent me an email and they were like, as a valued guest of PAX, we'd like you to fill out this survey. And basically the survey was like, how bothered would you be if we basically only did virtual events?
From now on?
Yeah, like that was the gist of the survey. I don't think they would do only virtual. I think they would do supplemental stuff or like condensed. Like they're consolidating, I think it's West and South, or no, South happened. West and Australia, they're going to consolidate the two together. So I'm wondering if they're looking at ways to consolidate moving forward. But I don't know. That was the gist I got out of it. Was like, how happy are you with this? Are you interested in the virtual event? Blah, so on and so forth. So, or maybe it was just a survey
just
to
like
see.
Being at a place, I don't think they really care about the content of PAX per se.
Yeah, like, look, I enjoyed it as someone with a media pass where I got to go talk to people and make connections. As just like someone going to walk around and see stuff, like we did a lot of that, right? I kept one of my days like mostly open so we could hang out and stuff like that. And you know, you walk around, you buy some stuff, you look at some stuff, you pop in, you play some games that look interesting, you know, you go pay too much for lunch and you move on. Like that's what you do, you know. But yeah, so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, esports. Sports.
Okay, let's run through it real fast.
Valorant. So Valorant Ranked is coming out soon-ish. It was supposed to be within a week. Yeah. So
so it should be Tuesday.
Okay, there we go. Tuesday. Boom. Done. Nail on the coffin.
Okay, bang. That's one. All right, next one. Come on, this is the rapid fire esports section.
Valorant Ignition esports series. So basically, they're doing a deal where almost anybody can put on a Valorant event. There's the end. CS:GO has a similar. Yeah, and we already had one, right? G2 Red Bull did one.
No, the G2 one is going on right now. It is this weekend. The Rage one just finished. It's the Japanese teams.
Yeah.
That one's over. But again, who cares? The G2 one is just them trying to figure out who the hell they're going to put on a squad with Mixwell. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Okay, there we go.
All right. The ESL got a new CFO.
Don't you dare talk about this one for more than like a minute.
Okay. Start the timer now. This one only matters because the CFO is wrapped into every decision a company makes because they control the money. We'll see what this guy's vision is. Moving on. Ross's best friend, the E-United morning social media manager guy, has been acquired. Yeah. Okay. E-United got acquired. Nothing's going to change except they're going to have more support, more money, more stuff.
Did you look into this company at all?
I know they do some kind of like software, but that was about it.
So, okay, so here's what it is. It's kind of funny because when I was looking into it, it's called like Backstage Play or something like that. So they want to connect artists with video games. So let's say Drake wants to put on a Fortnite tournament and the prize will be like front row tickets to a Drake concert. That's like all it is.
Yeah, makes sense. There you go. Now you can go to an E-United match.
Yeah. I don't know why we need a separate platform for that, but this is esports in general. All these trust fund kids that are like, you know what people want? They want a separate platform. No.
Well, it's like I kept getting emails for a while about this platform where you could go and like search if at any time in history on Fortnite you killed a famous streamer, and it would clip the Twitch clip and give it to you so you could like brag about it. They're like, do you want to come talk about this? And I was like, I honestly don't think it's that cool of an idea, guys. No. I'm sorry. They're like, we're expanding to other games. I'm like, I don't
care.
Don't care. The Chicago Huntsmen partnered with the U.S. Army. There's no detail about their partnership.
I hate it.
The U.S. Army has been making a huge push into esports. It's really not that surprising that they found somebody. They're at conventions. They have esports teams. You can join the U.S. Army today and play esports as a profession.
I've played the U.S. Army esports team in Rainbow Six.
See, there you go. Did you win?
Yeah, but it was a scrim, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. You heard that here first, people. Ross is better than the U.S. Army.
I've defeated the U.S. Army. Me.
Ross did it.
Hundreds of billions of dollars, and you can't win a round in Rainbow Six Siege.
Come on. It's because you have that gamer jerky, Ross.
It's just, they're actually really good now.
Yeah. No, they were. They seem like they have a great program going. The team seems to be improving. They did it with and this one makes a little bit more sense, but they did it with marksmanship. Like they really blew up their marksmanship team within the last decade or so. They do it with all sports. Honestly, they have like Olympic wrestling. They have everything. Like you can join the Army and be a professional athlete for the Army for 48 years. How it works out for them is basically they use you as an ambassador to recruit people. And obviously not everybody that wants to go be an esports athlete for the Army is going to make it. So they're going to go do one of the other jobs that the U.S. Army needs filled. So it just helps recruiting efforts. And the Huntsmen are going to help with those recruiting efforts, apparently. I don't know.
Make sure you use promo code SCUMP on your recruitment papers to the U.S. Army.
Oh, man. You'll get yelled at one time less during boot camp. FaZe invests in Control. This is just like poor Ross just got into Huel. Now he's going to switch over to his new meal replacement Control so he can phase up all days of the week.
All those. All right. So is it Control or like, is that how it's said?
I would.
I just see CTRL.
It's CTRL, but I've got to assume it's like meal replacement aimed at gamers. I've got to assume it's Control.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how you say it. But you're right. For clarification, CTRL, in case that means something else, I'm pronouncing it as Control.
I mean, it is Control, but
yeah. So it's a meal replacement company aimed at gamers, and FaZe is partnering with them, and they probably saw some great social media engagement and like decent sales, and they figure, hey, you attach the FaZe name to it, help them out, you get a return on your investment. They didn't acquire. I hope I didn't say acquire. They invested.
No,
they invested heavily in them. And that's the esports news. Yay! Is that fast?
Is that everything?
Yeah, I don't think there was anything, unless there's something that happened that you
want to
talk about.
Blast is going on, but that's about it.
Yeah, I try to keep like very specific, like during this event, this thing happened news out of here. This is wider. We have GG Easy, which is on the YouTube, which is like a 4 to 5 minute recap of different events.
There you go. I was doing the plug.
Yeah.
Is that the homie Carlos that does that?
Yeah. Except we're on pause for a few minutes while we're Gamezo is moving our strategy around in different directions. And we gotta grow. We're trying to grow. It's all fun and games first and foremost. We are the pillar of the media. Russ.
We're not trying to grow. We're trying to shrink because we're trying to shrink the esports section out of the damn show.
Yeah.
Because it's always like me pretending I care about like Lego Builder 208 getting signed by 100 Thieves, and like Nutrigrain Bar 57 gets picked up by Evil Genius to play Clash of Clans, and you go to me because you don't care, and I pretend like I care, and it's like, yeah, he's a really good player. He won Clash Royale week 52, whatever. Like, it's just, listen, I love esports, but the general esports news are just very boring topics that neither of us care about.
Yeah, and my ultimate point here is like, hey, spoiler guys, esports is a business. General esports news sounds a lot like business news, which is kind of not super fun. More specific news is or event recaps and coverage is different. We did it with sim racing, right? We pulled the sim racing out and turned it into its own podcast. You can go listen to Direct Drive, which comes out twice a month, and it's actually doing very well because it's short and it's pointed, and you don't have to listen.
It's only twice a month.
Yeah, and it's only twice a month. So you can go check that out if you're into sim racing and whatnot. I think that's everything. We don't have to do what we've been playing. We had the whole middle segment of the show was effectively what we've been playing. So
yeah,
unless there's anything else that you've been playing outside of indie games that you want to talk about.
No, that's it. That I want to talk about.
Yeah, same. And it's more of the same stuff on top of that.
All the same.
So cool. Like, subscribe, 5-star, on 5-star, 5-star. Leave a review. Say nice things. Don't say nice things. Give us constructive feedback.
What if people leave a review and then in the review they ask us a question and then we go over the question?
We could do that. Yeah,
I feel like that's a cool idea. I do a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, if you leave a question in the review, we'll answer it or cover it in the next podcast. If you go to our Twitter, GamesOGG, and ask a question there, you can tweet at us and say, hey, we have a question for It's All Fun and Games or a topic we want you to cover, or any of the podcasts. Just if it's a gaming topic, throw it at us. We'll figure out where it fits. You know,
it might fit in the trash. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Hey Ross, what do you think about the specs on the? Don't buy it.
Bruh.
Don't buy it.
I'm gonna give you the bruh.
The bruh. Cool. Yeah. So follow us, Gamezo GG Twitter, gamezo.co.uk if you want to listen to us. There's links to all of our stuff there. You can go follow Ross, whose real name isn't Rain if you're watching. It's actually Ross, but you can follow him at RainR6S. You can follow me at BitwiseDan. The second I is a 1. I'm not going to spell it out for you. Figure it out, guys. And that is another week in the books. We do we control up now that phase is in like
no.
What do we do? Like what's the deal?
Still phase up.
And we're still phasing up?
Yeah, we're still phasing up.
Okay, we'll phase up. All right, guys.
Well, wait, because I gotta research something real quick.
Yeah,
you can do your little call to action thingy.
I already call to action. Go follow the thing, tweet the thing.
Call to action again.
Do the stuff. Give us feedback. We like it.
All right, so Blast. I want to see if Phase 1. Blast premiere spring 2020. Oh, Phase lost. Damn, Phase down.
Phase down, baby. Phase down.
They lost to Vitality. Unfortunate. Phase
that is
down.
Unfortunate. I've been trying to find like it's funny, you know, our sign off is always phase up, which is funny because it's like I don't even like phase, but anyway. It's just a funny. It's just a funny way to sign off. But I was thinking like the Direct Drive podcast, the call to action at the end of the last Direct Drive podcast was dropped last Friday. Go and listen to it. Was, hey guys, we need to crowdsource a better sign off because my sign off is, and I will talk to you all soon. I don't have any. I got to come up with like some like bazinga, you know, like, and them's the facts, and then like, you know, end it. So we get a catchphrase because you can't Ross. You know what the end game is, right? You can't have merchandise if you don't have catchphrases.
There it is.
Boom! Monetize everything. All right, Ross. I love you, buddy. Go eat hamburgers.
Catchphrase.
Yeah, give us a catchphrase. Come up with a good catchphrase.
No, that is the catchphrase. Catchphrase.
Catchphrase. All right, catchphrase phase up.
Tangled in my wires.